Hello, I'm Gavin Hoey from gavtrain.com and you're watching Creative Lightroom. This week I'm going to show you how to create a hand-painted border. Now, when it comes to borders, I'm a real sucker for borders. I love a good border. It can set off a picture and make it look absolutely fantastic. The best sort of borders are often the ones that you draw by hand, and that's what I'm going to create inside of Lightroom. Lightroom's just as good at making borders as any other bit of editing software out there, if you know how to use it. So let's have a little look at the border we're going to create. It is really rather simple. It's got a nice, straight, neat edge, and yet it has that nice hand-drawn feel. Now, it's all done in Develop module, so I'll jump back into Develop, and in fact it's all done using the adjustment brush. So let's reset the adjustment brush right back to 0. Okay, so first thing you need to do is to reset all of your sliders back to 0, so double click the word Effect on the adjustment brush, everything resets to 0. Now the only thing I want to change is the exposure, and I'm going to increase my exposure to maximum, +4. Now I'm going to come down to the brush size options at the bottom here, and my size I'm going to put really small. It's going to be sort of 6, very, very small brush size. Feathering is going to be on 50, flow is going to be on 100, but here's the really important bit, auto mask. Now when it comes to auto mask, I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with auto mask. When it works, it's brilliant. The rest of the time, which is most of the time for me, it's not that good. So most of the time I actually turn it off, and I recommend that's what you do with it first thing when you use it, is turn off auto mask. And that's what I'm going to do for now. I'll turn off auto mask. Finally, density, that's going to be on 100 as well. Now all I need to do is paint a little border right the way around the edge of the picture, but I've got to do it really neatly. And using a mouse, that's not as easy as it sounds. So here's the really good trick. Come right up to that top left corner, but don't go to the edge. You've got to leave a little bit of a gap, and click once with the mouse, but don't let go of the mouse button. Hold it down. Now you're going to hold Shift on the keyboard, and holding Shift as you drag the mouse along, you will see no matter how bad you are at dragging a straight line, that's all you get, a straight line. And when you get to the other end, let go of the mouse, then let go of the keyboard. Okay, let's do that again. Click on the mouse and hold it down. Hold the Shift key and go right down to the bottom, like that. But again, leave a little bit of a gap, then let go of the mouse, let go of Shift. Hold the mouse, hold Shift, go along the bottom. Okay, we get to about there, let go of the mouse, let go of Shift. Okay, one last one, mouse first, then Shift, up to the top. Whoops, let's try that again. There we go, up to the top, and we join them up, let go of the mouse, let go of Shift. And that just draws that straight edge, but it's not perfectly straight. There's always little wobbles and bits and pieces on it, and that really works well. Now you could stop there, but there's one more little thing I'm going to do. So I'm going to make a new brush. I'm going to click on the new button here, and I'm going to change my exposure down to 2 stops extra exposure. And I'm going to come down to auto mask, and I'm going to turn it on. Yeah, I'm going to do exactly the opposite of what I said I like to do, but I'm going to turn that on. I'll also increase the brush size much bigger, up to 20. So you can see I've got a much larger brush. This time I'm going to start outside of the picture area. I'm just going to click and run this around freehand, no holding Shift anymore, just around the outside. And you'll see what auto mask does, and I'll zoom in a second so you can really see it. But it leaves behind a kind of weirdness. If we just sort of zoom in and over that area, it leaves a sort of spotty and dotty effect, especially on pictures like this, where I have a defocus background, or a picture where you have blue sky or kind of single tones. It leaves this rather nice painterly effect, which works in this case, but you may want to leave auto mask off. That's up to you and your picture. Finally, I'm just going to take the saturation for that last brush down to about -50, just so it's not quite so hot around the outside. And that's it, you're done. Jump over to the print module and change your cell size a little bit so you can leave yourself a nice big white border all the way around the outside. And there is your hand-painted border completed. Now it's a really simple border to make, and we'll look at other borders later in the Creative Lightroom series. But for now, if you want to find out more about me, don't forget to check out my website at www.gavtrain.com, or join me right here again next week for another Creative Lightroom. I'm Gavin Hoey. Thanks for watching.